Superpot. Tanyavad for watching. Thank you so much. How are you? Hello. It is almost 2 a.m. Very, very early. I've gotten up about 12:30. I get up for work. I'm drinking my coffee, doing emails, going through things, and I said, I need to do my movie review for Petta. Petta is starting Rajinikanth. Now, I want to talk about several things here. People will ask me or make comments, why isn't the Warrior Queen in on Rajinikanth films? And I'm going to tell you why. And I don't say this to be aggressive or insulting. I've seen 3 Rajinikanth films. I've seen, I think 4. There was an older one that I saw that I don't remember the name of, like from the 70s, mid-70s. There was Kaali, which the trailer was fabulous for. There was Robot and Robot 2, right? Robot 2, Robot 1 were very good. Kaali was a terrible movie. And it was terrible not because of Rajinikanth's performance, but because of the filmmaking. There were jump edits, like you would watch a scene and next thing you know, they've jump edited somewhere else. I have no idea what the hell just happened. And that was the production, not Rajinikanth. And we did a trailer reaction or something we did, and the Warrior Queen said, I don't know, I don't think I'm gonna like this film. She said something that wasn't like, knocked down, like, I loved it. And she got death threats. And so she said, you know what, I will never do another Rajinikanth anything because I don't need to listen to that. And I respect that, and I understand. People are passionate about Rajinikanth. I understand that. But that's why. That's why she's not in it. Because, what's this? Rajinikanth fans, this is why we can't have nice things. And I understand some people are very overzealous about it, and I agree with her on it because I don't want to read the comments where people are threatening to kill my wife because she does not love a Rajinikanth film. Like, that's kind of fascist and weird, but whatever. Now this film here, and like I said, I've seen 4 of them. I've never had an issue with Rajinikanth's performance. I thought when you looked at Robot, where he was playing the scientist, the robot, the good Chetty, and then the evil Chetty, that's pretty talented to be able to pull this off. This movie, I think, was the best that I've seen out of his films. Because this thing was really interesting to me. It was, it kind of started off with a typical Southern Indian film, where there's dancing and kind of overemphasis of like, kind of that kind of, I don't know what you would call that. And some of it's funny, and the film kind of starts off with a problem that's going down at a college, and they called this position as I don't know, the chancellor. We would say chancellor, but they called it the warden of the university. And what we find here is a group of seniors who love to harass the local kids, the youngsters, the freshmen, the newbies, right? And the group of seniors led by Mike he's kind of the thug of the school. And there's a certain girl that he's taken a liking to, but that certain girl has a boyfriend. And Anwar, I think was his name. I wanted to say Arjun, but I know it's not Arjun. I think it was Anwar. And so they've decided they're going to make this boy's life hell because Mikey likes this girl. And his dad is a low-level thug. They have some contracts with the school where they kind of rip the school off. I think they provide the food for him, but yet they charge him for good stuff when they give him crap, right? A kind of low-level mob. And people are warning the authorities of the school, don't mess with Mikey and his crew. I think they called themselves, not the bad boys, what did they call themselves? The troublemaker boys, the naughty boys, or something like that. That was their gang name. And this movie kind of seemed, at this point, hokey a little bit. It seemed a little like there wasn't going to be much substance to this film. And you see Rajinikanth, SuperStar Rajinikanth, show up, and he gets the job as warden, and there's a reason why he's there, and we don't realize it because he kind of skips through all the interview process. He skips through all the, he's just like, hey, give me the job, and people are like, you got to interview for this? And he's like, no, make the phone call, they'll tell you. And so somehow he has some kind of connections and he gets the job and he begins this kind of, I'm going to win the kids over, I'm going to set them straight, I'm going to make sure the teachers are paying attention, I'm going to make sure the food's good. And it's very much, I think, a very surface level film where you're kind of like, yeah, I'm not expecting much of this film. This is going to be like, like when an SRK film is weak and you're like, there's not a whole lot here. This is just going to be like, just very much like this. And the tension between Mike and Rajinikanth kind of builds and builds and builds. And the dad tells him, wait a minute, I've seen this guy. Don't have anything to do with him. I can just tell you by the look in his eye, he's not an ordinary man. And the conflict goes, and Rajinikanth has to go to their house. He goes in the house and he threatens the dad. And says, listen, you're going to make me in the mood for killing. You need to knock it off. I'm done messing around with you people. I've told your boy you've lost the contracts. I'm going to kick him out of school. There you go. Forget you. And it's like, and the family's like, oh no. And so they plot. They're going to go in. They're going to kill Rajinikanth, right? They're going to kill him. And the son kind of has this moment of sobriety where he's like, this is getting way out of hand, Pops. Way out of hand. No killing. Do you understand me? No killing. What we need to do is we need to just scare him. Just beat him up. And the dad agrees to it. No weapons. He tells everybody, no, we're not going to kill him. No weapons. But what we find out is there's a bigger gangster, Nawazuddin Siddiqui, who is unbelievably creepy in this movie, dude. Oh, creepy. And he has a gang. And somehow this gang catches wind of Mikey's gang because they're watching something on a YouTube video. They were doing some kind of ritual, which I didn't understand when they found when they found Anwar and his girlfriend together. They were going to make them marry each other, or he had to say on video that he was a sister effer. And it was, I don't understand what was going on. I was kind of lost, like, I don't understand, but it was very humiliating and whatnot. And this other rival, this big gang, did it. They do the same thing on Valentine's Day, but they're really good at it. They were kind of watching this video, making fun of what's going on here, and they see a picture in the background of Rajinikanth, and Siddiqui sees him and realizes, that's Petta. I want you to go down there and kill him, right? But we don't know that's actually what's said. So what ends up happening is we get to the school, and Mikey's gang is coming, ski masks are coming, they're breaking in the middle of the night. So Siddiqui's gang coming in. They look the same, you can't tell. Mikey's gang's not going to have weapons. Siddiqui's gang's there to kill people, right? And so we have this, and at the time I didn't realize it was two different gangs, so I'm watching this, and I'm kind of thinking it's going to be surface level, not much there. And, fighting breaks out. Rajinikanth's telling people to stay in your room, and he's out there confronting. And we have this moment where Mikey sees a gang member stabbing people. And he goes up to him and he says, hey, what the hell you doing, dude? I told you no weapons. And the guy stabs him. And Mikey's like, what the hell? What are you doing? And he pulls his mask off and realizes, who in the hell is this guy? This ain't part of our posse. And I was like mind blown at that part, because now it's like, oh, so that's what Siddiqui's talking about, and it's coming together. There's another plot here. And so what you see then is this movie shift from very, very thin analysis. Now it's wide open. I also have to say, too, the cinematography in this film was so good. The cinematography of this film was so good. It was like another character. It was like truly, we had a best supporting actor. It would be cinematography. The cinematography was just super incredible. I was really impressed with it. I enjoyed it. It was beautiful to watch and look at, and I marveled at how good it was, right? But the story quickly changes now to who are the people trying to kill versus Petta and his gang. And so this changes, and then Mikey and the low-level gangster kind of join sides with Petta, and Petta starts to realize who this is, and he makes a phone call, and we start to find out why he has such an interest in Anwar, and we get this backstory. We get this amazing backstory of how Petta was from another part of the area, and his sister and best friend were going to get married, and they're going to have this thing. But there was a problem that arose because one of the in-laws and forgive me if I didn't if I get this part wrong, because I was getting a little confused as they were going back and forth trying to read the subtitles and catch what was going on. But Siddiqui was part of a family, and he had a son that was going to be marrying into a different caste, and the guy who was going to be the father-in-law was very wealthy, and they have this whole conversation going on. And so because they're showing us Siddiqui with two sons, right? And the one is marrying into this family, and the son says, so wait a minute, if you die, the daughter gets your money, right? Yes. If the daughter dies, then I get the money, right? Yes. Oh, I guess I just got to kill you. And so he kills them and does this, and this causes a whole problem. And Petta is part of this other family's, I don't know if he's their enforcer or whatnot. And there's a whole kind of tension that begins to build between the two families, because they're calling out Siddiqui's side. You're the murderer. You murdered them. That we don't believe at all that they just died. And the thug finally admits it. Yeah, I killed him. So what? What are you going to do about it? And they kind of have an event that happens. Petta's wife is pregnant. Punya, I think that was her name, Punya, or that may have been the daughter-in-law. I'm not sure. I think that may have been his sister-in-law. But his wife is pregnant. And time has passed, and Siddiqui comes up, and he says, listen, I'm really sorry I'm here. Please forgive me. I was wrong. I was greedy. I shouldn't have done that. I brought you gifts. I'm sorry. Where's my gold necklace? I'm very, very sorry. And the family kind of like, oh, okay, let's take him in. And they welcome him back as a brother. Because we've seen some conflict in the film between Siddiqui and Petta, where he tried to kill people, and Petta stopped him, would just snatch the gun out of his hand and be like, psh, right? It was entertaining. But what we don't know is what Siddiqui gave him was a bomb. And so this bomb explodes and kills kids and kills all these people. And there are a few people that get out alive. The sister-in-law gets out alive, Anwar's mom, and they get her off. And so she has Anwar. And Anwar is the boy in the college that Pete is there to look after, right? So that makes sense. It's his nephew. Peter's son is born. At the time, he was thought dead in the thing that he was in the explosion, and is raised by Siddiqui as his own son. But he treats his real son in a favorable way, and he treats this boy kind of as a thug, as enforcer, and he sends him out to try to kill Petta. What am I talking about? Petta. And we don't realize that until this movie unfolds, and then there's all this drama and stuff. We start having these counter strikes and plans. So Petta's now in Siddiqui's hometown. He's going to kill him. Siddiqui now is a big politician. He's corrupt. He's got all his hands in everything, and they're hunting him. And we keep having these exchanges between Petta and Cheetah, I think was his name. That was his son, that he doesn't realize it. And they have opportunities to kill each other, and they don't do it. And they don't realize, why am I not doing it? Petta figures it out. That's my son. And he starts talking to the boy, sitting him down, and he goes back, and there's a great scene where he confronts Siddiqui, Nawazuddin Siddiqui, and says, am I Petta's kid? Am I Petta's kid? And it was just a great dialogue exchange where Siddiqui never says yes, but he never says no either, and the boy gets it, and we see this great thing, and then the movie kind of just builds and ramps up, and there is a great scene where they finally get Siddiqui, and Siddiqui's going to get killed, right? Was it just me, or when we saw Siddiqui get gunned down by the machine guns at the very end, did anybody think Gangs of Wasseypur? I was thinking Gangs of Wasseypur, how Siddiqui was killing that one guy with the machine gun. Like, what? This film was phenomenal. This was the best Rajinikanth film I saw. Again, I thought we were going to go super level. Then we got the second movie that kind of just sprung out of it. Beautiful cinematography. Rajinikanth was fun to watch in this, even in the action roles where he would kind of be like, he would do something and be like, it was just funny. And the film ended with him like catching a gun and then pointing it at the camera and shooting. And it was a fun movie. Nawazuddin Siddiqui, sir, you are creepy G, sir. You are the creepy G. You were amazing in this film. Anwar's girlfriend's mom was amazing. We just had a little glimpse of her. Just what a great film. This was I truly loved it. I loved the film. It was a great film. It was fun to watch. And, I give it an A+. This is definitely an A+ material. I'll catch you guys later. Peace and much love.